They lie to you. You're not too old to chase your dreams, and that's what I want to talk about today.
What exactly are they building back there?
A dream.
Before we jump in, I just want to say if you like what you're watching, like and subscribe anytime throughout this video. That helps me to know what kind of content to make. Thank you. So, I want to start with a story. Let me tell you about when I was in law school. I ran into a young man. He wasn't in law school, but he was in college as well. And he was really just down on himself. And I asked him, "Hey, why are you feeling so depressed? Why are you feeling so down?" And he told me that he had lately just been feeling like he could not follow his dreams. He felt like his dreams were not going to be a reality, and trying to swallow that pill was just too difficult. And so I understood that. I think we all get to these points in our lives where we say, I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach the things that I wanted to accomplish in my life. So I asked him what was his dream. He said, I really want to be somebody who creates art. I said, great. What kind of art? I want to paint shoes. I was a little confused by this. I said, when you say paint shoes, what exactly do you mean? He says, I want to paint them. I want to make them artwork. I want people to wear my shoes that I've painted, my Nikes, my Jordans that I've painted and made beautiful. Now, I had never heard about any sort of art style like this, anybody using shoes as a median for art. But don't get me wrong, I don't think there was anything wrong with his dream. But I thought it was shocking that he, in his early 20s, was already ready to give up this dream because he hadn't had the kind of success that he had hoped to have. And I'm sure that he had been discouraged by people around him who didn't understand why he would want to invest time into something like this. They might have thought that he was wasting his time. They might have thought he was doing something that wasn't going to have any value. And that's not really fair because it brought value to him and it was meaningful to him. And there are people out there I know who would enjoy what he was putting out.
Your shoes. I want your shoes.
And so I don't think it was fair to discourage him because people didn't think his dream was a good dream. But was his dream realistic? Was he going to be able to invest this kind of time in the future when he started working a full time job? If he wanted to have a family, things like this, is he going to be able to have this kind of dream while he balances the other aspects of life? Should he give up on a dream like this? And when should we give up on these dreams? Personally, I have friends who have wanted to get an education and they haven't been able to because of money. I've had friends who want to have families, who want to have good relationships, and haven't had the opportunity to be successful in that realm. And I've also seen people who wanted certain careers, certain jobs in the future, and they just have never materialized. So, should these people give up on these dreams? Aren't they being unrealistic? Shouldn't they become more practical? Isn't that what life is about? I disagree. I think that this life is about fearlessly pursuing our dreams throughout our lives because that's what makes it meaningful for us. How does that look when these things don't materialize the way that we thought? I used to dream of being a comedian. And when I was young, people would tell me I was really funny. You probably don't believe that now. As you're watching this video, you're like, okay, sure. But when I was young, I was told many times that I was funny, that I was comical. My parents would say, you should be a stand-up comedian, just joking around. The idea of getting in front of people because I had social anxiety and talking to them, making jokes, and not wanting to just hide away in a closet was completely unreasonable. And so there was no way in my mind that I could be a comedian. I also saw comedic performers. I saw actors and actresses making jokes and doing these funny sketches like on SNL. And I thought, this is so funny. I wish I could do something like this. I wish I could be a performer. And I knew without a doubt I would never be a performer. And so at an early age, I realized there's nothing for me in comedy. It might be something that I enjoy to watch and to partake of, but me producing comedy, that is never going to really happen. And I've thought since that time, how can I follow that dream? Is it over? The fact that I want to do comedy, did I really just I gave up on it and now it's done? But here I am, I'm on YouTube, and even though I am still learning how I'm going to incorporate that into my YouTube channel, it's something I know that I have a platform now that I can write comedy, I can make humor in the things that I create, and I feel so excited about it, more excited about things than I've felt in a while, right? And so it's so important for us to recognize that our dreams may not look the way that we thought they look, but that doesn't mean that we're not pursuing them and that we're not going to get the same excitement and fulfillment that we thought we'd get out of those dreams. For me, I think it's about changing those expectations because maybe when you were young, you thought, I want to be a great singer and I want to perform in Broadway. Well, first of all, I'm not going to say you ever reach an age that you can't perform on Broadway. There are older people performing on Broadway and good for them. But what I want to say is that even though that might be a long shot for you, who's to say that you can't get the same kind of fulfillment and joy from that singing, that performance that you hope to do on Broadway in a community theater? Who's to say you can't get that same kind of joy in teaching others and helping children to love musical theater? As we make these adjustments, as we try to find other ways to live out our dreams, we can find the things that we've been chasing. I don't think most of us, when we think of our dreams, we're chasing some sort of award or status. I mean, some people are, but I think most of us are chasing something because of the way it makes us feel. It's important to remember I want this because this is the way I feel. If you're having trouble with relationships, you're not chasing that because you want marriage or you want kids. It's because you want the way it feels when you're in a stable relationship. You want the way it feels when you're able to take care of a little human. And those are totally understandable dreams. And I think what's really important about this, shifting your expectations, changing the trajectory of your dreams is not a failure. It's not a failure. You might fail along the way. Don't get me wrong. You might certainly fail along the way. And I hope you fail because failure is how we learn. But changing the expectations of your dream, that's not a failure. In fact, it allows you to get the thing that you always wanted. Can you imagine that you can say, this wasn't the dream I imagined, but it was the thing I have always wanted? I'm not very old, you know? I think this, if you heard this from somebody who was 100 years old, you might say to yourself, wow, she knows because she's been there. I'm not. I'm not. I'm in my 30s, and you know what I like about being in my 30s is that when I was in my 20s, I couldn't have imagined the life that I had now. And when I was 15, it would be unbelievable. I wouldn't believe a word you said. And my life has been beautiful and more than I could have ever expected. Not because I got all the things that I ever dreamed of, but because everything I ever dreamed of became a part of who I am. And every day I'm able to live out and chase these dreams, and it makes me happier. So if you have the same experience as me, I think you'll find that life could be more beautiful than you ever expected if you keep chasing your dreams. Don't give up. You can reevaluate your expectations, but don't give up. You're never too old, even at 100. If you like this video, I hope that you will like and subscribe. That helps me know what kind of content to make for you, and I want to make sure that I am talking to you. So please do that, and we'll see you next time.